Hello, devlog number 4, and dun 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 dun. We have player models. 5 different variants, so one for each player. It's going to be 5-man co-op. Yeah, I got these commissioned on Fiverr by a artist called Raymond. I think it just if you type in 3D game models, he'll come up. Yeah, I got the initial one done as a test. And that was just over £100. And then he gave me 4 variants then for again just over 100. So that's a nice little deal. Just show you quickly them animated. Okay, so this is a Mixamo, just a walk animation. And then this is from a Unity asset pack. Or from the asset store on Unity on the Unity asset store. Oh, kill that guy. Yeah, so it's like a wizard animations pack. Obviously, then later I'll have to use blend trees to blend the wizard casting, holding the wand, with the walking, running, jumping, etc. Yeah. So other things I've got made on Fiverr. I got a UI asset pack made, not all of it, but paid just over 100 again. But the art style was too sort of high poly or too professional, and I'll show you an example. So like here is a the build menu. It wasn't really stylized. I did want it like sort of at least a building theme and stuff, but they just gave me the generic sort of style where it looks good and they give me and deliver what I asked for. It doesn't fit the game, and I tried putting it on my canvas to see what it looks like in game, and it just looked like I'd taken it from another game and just put it in mine, you know. So instead, I've had to do my own art. It's gone okay. I downloaded Krita and done my best. Yeah, so I'll just show you that in game actually. Okay, so here is the inventory background I've been working on. So it's all of it except for the squares in the middle. The squares are part of that UI asset pack. Here it comes. Part of the UI asset pack. I'll be drawing my own, obviously. But yeah, I think it's actually quite nice and definitely fits my game more. And then sort of like the health image down to the right and the blue mana bar, which is like a blast or a spell. I did say that they would be placeholder, but I might actually just try and tidy them up, make them look a bit better, and just keep the art style. And then if I make all the art style, it's all gonna match. It's all gonna be sort of what I want. So the last one was just the build menu I showed you just now. It's just a plain panel with a square, and it said build menu. Whereas this inventory is a lot more stylized. It's actually like, oh, you're looking inside your backpack. Then oh yeah, I'll show you another thing. If I press my spells, they're not set up properly. I just did this yesterday and was trying stuff. But yeah, you can change your spells now. You can choose from the book. Oh, well, not the book, but the selection slots. You can see here that are highlighted. And this is just some of the other spells I got from that particle effects asset pack. It's quite cool, the illumination. Ooh, that's one thing I'll show you as well is just playing around with lighting. So everything's not finalized again, but just working on a bit of. I got the skies as from a day-night cycle asset. It does animate. It does have some sort of animations between the day-night cycle, where it'll just go around at a certain time scale. But I want that. I want to change that. I want the night to only start when everyone on your team votes to say, "Oh, we're ready for the wave to start. We're ready for the night." So you could spend an hour building, then say you're ready, or you could already build what you needed to, and for the next 10 rounds, you just say ready, 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 until say your base gets destroyed. You need to repair it or whatever, or prepare for a boss. Yeah, let's grab that spell again because it's a nice. Oop, don't know what happened there. But yeah, that's another cool thing. I'm gonna make sure every spell has is you can see these, like how it's illuminating the ground, and obviously you add in impact effects when it hits an object. I like how it'll emit and illuminate stuff. So you can imagine like all your team, there's just lights flying and explosions. Yeah, it's gonna be cool. Yeah, so about the art style, if you guys think that's good or bad, I want to try and make them look a bit better. But do you think it's too simple, too sort of amateur? Obviously, I've drawn them myself, so I don't know. Let me know what you think. The hexagons and all that sort of stuff you see there aren't final as well. That's just something I drew real quick. Just trying stuff out. But yeah, hopefully I'll have a bigger art style update the next one. So I've got a week off work now. In a week, so should get a lot done that week. But last time we were talking about the building system. So I'll just quickly show you now in Blender what I've done. Okay, so here are the building objects. Okay, so here are the building objects I've been making in Blender. So obviously going with the low poly carved from stone look, or at least I'm attempting that anyway. So I just started off with basic shapes. So a 1x1 cube for just like a basic wall, 1x2, a 2x2.5 for a floor, and so on. Okay, so basically what I did was loop cut all around the edges just to keep the edges subdivided. Then I made, without applying the subdivision, I made more loop cuts to make more vertices to grab onto, which are these little circles. Went into sculpting, picked the grab tool, and just grab the vertices, pulled up, pulled down, move it across like that. So just to give it this smooth stone look. And then if anything was a bit too much, you can always just use the smooth. And I'm not good at Blender. I'm a pure beginner, but I basically just learnt what I need to know. I've done like the basic tutorials of making a sword and stuff before, so I know the basic basic tools. But yeah, I'm no Blender expert, as you can probably see. But I think it's good enough for my game, stylized, low poly, and it's designed and scaled to fit my game. So the reason I did that and not just using the Blender kit objects is I watched a video by Thomas Brush about just giving your game good design and making sure it looks like it belongs and fits together is like a huge part of that. So the idea is the 1x1 is going to be half the height of the player. So we assume the height of the player is 2 based on this scale. So a wall piece will be half your height, quarter your height for a floor. Each step is then 1/8 of your height, so I think that's a nice size. So obviously these are the floor pieces, circular floor. a semi, well, not semi, but 3/4 of a circle floor to fit if you wanted to chuck like the corner towers like you see on castles onto whatever you're building. Maybe you want to build a castle. And then obviously the wall, with no stairs, one with an opening to walk in with stairs, one enclosed with stairs. So you can add that on top. A larger one at 4 height. So the player's height is 2, so that's double the height. So then I imagine if you put a floor as you come up, that floor would be 2 times the player height, and I think that's a good amount or good height. But you can also add 2 of these and make it 3 times the height, etc., and whatever you want to build, basically. There will be more items, but this is just what I've come up with for now. I also want to make like traps, obviously doors, windows, but this is I've done this all this week. I just looked at a castle, like a cartoon castle, and just imagined what pieces I would need to make that. Other than the doors and the windows, which I obviously haven't done, but there will be more added, and this is just what I've done this week. I haven't added a texture on these because I made a shader graph in Unity that automatically blends the textures. So on the square, if you look in the UV mapping, there's a straight line, straight line, straight line, straight line. That's obviously the faces. And then you can see that when you put a texture on, you see a line, and it's obvious that there's a texture painted there, and they don't blend. So in the shader graph in Unity, there's a triplanar node, and that literally just blends the edges together, so it'll just wrap around nicely. And then in theory, I should be able to just add that to any of my objects, and it should just blend each of the edges together. Yeah, and then obviously different size stairs. And then I believe they're called battlements, just for the top of the castle if you wanted to make it look cooler. Yeah, but this is what I got for now. So let's chuck this into Unity and let's make a castle. Okay, back in Unity. Let's collect some stone. As you can see, the stone image is also from that UI pack that I got commissioned. That will be changed as well. Plenty of stone. Come over to a nice flat area. Need to turn this walk speed up, huh? Right, so let's grab some floors. I'll just do a small castle. I'm not going to do some huge monstrosity. I obviously need to change the spawn-in transforms, rotations, whatever. I put it back so you can freeze, rotate, and then move it in that rotated frozen position. So you can make smaller adjustments, move it. So it's just last time you couldn't move it when it was frozen at all. You'd have to unfreeze it, then it would drop, and So yeah, I've changed that back. I'm also going to add Last time I said there was like snap rotation, like this. It's a bit janky, so what I'm going to do instead is add sort of preset rotations. So on its flat face or side face, then rotating it 45, 45, 45, 45 in one direction, then around the other way, 45, 45, 45. So you could then cycle through preset angles just to speed up your building a bit, make it easier. It might not be perfect, or it might be, you might want all your floors to be 90, 45, and then you could just select that one, and they should all slot nicely together. Right, let's freeze this guy. The building system is not finalized. This is actually the first time I'm attempting to build anything. So we're going to see what it's like together. And I'll figure out what sort of adjustments and things I need to change. Also, leave in the comments if you think, say, I put this object by here and it's at this angle, but I wanted it to... Is that something... Is that something that people would want? Or do people like doing this? Slight small movements, building your objects. I know a lot of people like to play building games. A lot of building games, though, you just have a preset like house outline, put the logs in, and you've built a house. I didn't want that. I wanted more of the Garry's Mod style, where you can finicky move around, play around. So if somebody wanted to jump in my game, just maybe we'll do build mode where you have unlimited stone, and you could just sit in the game and build and not even bother starting the waves and see what you could build. I wanted people to be able to do that. Thinking about it now as well, maybe I can add like a low cost wooden piece of like scaffolding. So say you wanted to work up the side of a castle, you wanted to build a big one. And later on, maybe I'll unlock larger pieces together, so you'll have a large floor, a large wall piece, but only after you've leveled up and you've earned it, basically. So that it'll be easier to build once you've unlocked or progressed. But then again, if it was building mode, all pieces unlocked, then you could just play around. So Okay, look at my beautiful castle. Okay, so things I've learned. Right, so we definitely want like a lock. So you can freeze rotation and stuff and move it around, but you want, or I'm definitely gonna add a lock object. So you can't accidentally um, like move it as like, so if I move that bottom one now, it would ruin the rest, you know. So freezing while you're moving, place and lock. So that object's bam. Um, Maybe I'll do like you put it down, cast a spell, and that spell will just, or like in kind of like in Garry's Mod, just zap it. It'll like zap. Um, but you do that like with the welding tools and stuff. But this one will just be like lock, boom, unlock, boom. Yeah, and definitely want the snap rotation. I also definitely need to adding a jump, so I don't sometimes get stuck trying to get up these things. But yeah, that's the basic. That's just a quick display. It's just to show the models I've made, not my perfect building system. That obviously still needs work. But obviously, I would have put like floor there instead of just on top of there. But yeah, this is just like a little still image I'm gonna put in the thumbnail of my amazing castle I've made. Yeah, so improvements to be made, but that's it for this week. Some nice updates, and see you again in 3 weeks.